Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Coming off the back of the... Ah, shit. Coming off the back of the 1 million subscriber special. It's, you almost can't believe it. How far we've come. Just to, keep going. It's the journey isn't done, right? Like, you're not done with the journey until, you know what? You hit 2 million subs. That's what you're looking for. 2 million subs. And then, well, I don't know. Is 2 million the next milestone after a million? Do you even care about like 2 million at that point? You definitely see like what, well, I don't know. Like, what are the plaques? I think it's all based on the plaques, right? Like, what YouTube sends you, like that's what you want your thing based off of, your specials based off of. So if every time YouTube sends me a new plaque for this, well, God, they probably won't send me a plaque. Let's be honest. We're getting. Oh, whoa! Someone join? Oh, look who it is. It's old Shimdiggy. Shimdiggy. Welcome, man. Can you believe it? We've got 1 million subs, and it's the road to 1 million subs. Oh, you're probably waiting for voice mod to pop back up again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was talking for a little bit, and you were just pay no minding me, so I thought something has to be wrong.
Yeah, it was voice mod.
Yeah, it's always voice mod, because voice mod's fucking awful. I mean, it's probably fine on its own.
No, wait, hold on. Remember, we're not grifters, but we're not above something. So, voice mod, if you want us to stop trash talking your product, there's one way to grease the wheels.
Pay me money.
Exactly.
Pay him
Or
money, I guess.
at least get me a sub for voice mod, please. I don't make YouTube money. I can't afford it. Please, voice mod. I'm at your mercy. Man,
They'll totally listen to this, bro.
The video uploaded though, the first one.
Yeah, I have it going in the background.
It's not that bad. I was listening to a bit of it here and there, like while I was editing stuff together. I don't think it's half bad.
I'm not listening to it at all. I just have it going on double speed, muted, so that you get the.
So I get the view.
Yeah.
The watch time.
And the watch time. Watch time is not affected by playback speed.
Oh, that's pretty sick.
Yeah.
That's nice. Man, I can't believe like just how long it took for it to upload. It took an hour and a half, I think.
That's not that bad. And the render time was just an hour?
Hour and a half, I think, for the render time.
That's insane.
Yeah. Well,
My render times have always been like just insanely long.
but I also like didn't do any editing. Like I didn't like cut anything other than I trimmed up the front and the back end. So I don't know if like that makes a difference in that like I don't have a ton of shit getting layered in there and
yeah, that it does make a difference if you don't have any like extra visuals that the software is managing.
yeah.
So I do forget that, but still.
Yeah. Yeah, but
it's pretty quick.
My computer's pretty good, so I think that certainly helps.
What software are you using?
I was using DaVinci.
Okay.
Yeah, I was looking at like what I just didn't want to pay for anything right now.
Yeah. There's no reason, especially with what you're doing.
Yeah, just with like it being super simple.
Mm-hmm.
And I googled like best free video editing because I know that you had you used DaVinci, right? Or like you were messing around with it.
Yeah, I was using it for doing some of my Twitch VODs and stuff. And it was fine. the render times were faster, but once again, that's just on me having decade-old software
Yeah.
that can't read my hardware.
Yeah, you gotta do something about that.
Yeah, I want to get Adobe, but or like get the Creative Cloud subscription stuff going, but at the same time, I'm
It's
just uh,
it's expensive.
yeah, scary.
It's scary.
Well, yeah. Because that's the other thing too. Is it's like you want to be getting your money's worth. Like I have a friend who reached out who wants me to make him something for just something. And yeah, so I'm gonna use that money to get it.
Mm, that's fun.
Yeah.
Uh, I'm not gonna build anything in Satisfactory today. I'm gonna
Yeah.
like search for items. So maybe I won't be quite so frustrated with like a conveyor belt simulator. But I gotta like figure. I like pulled up a map where all the things I'm looking for are, and I gotta figure out where the hell I am. But man, what a wild day.
A wild day.
Yeah, yeah, we came off of a million subs. I just still can't believe it. Our loyal fans.
Well, we will come off 1 million subs.
Yeah, but
That was the whole thing.
yeah. We will. I guess we haven't necessarily.
Yeah, but you will.
Yeah, but we will. Right.
Right.
Yeah. Man, it feels good, honestly, to come off 1 million subs. Like, I think YouTube will eventually send us the plaque, right? Like, don't they do the plaques, or have they stopped doing the plaques?
They still do plaques, I think.
I didn't know.
For sure.
I didn't know if like anybody still cared about the plaques and stuff. It used to be such a big deal.
I think they still do them.
Oh, I hope they
So
do.
yeah, any day now.
Any day now.
Well, later. Any day in the future.
Right, right. Because we're in the past.
Right.
Right. Man. Man, oh man. I don't know. I'm into it though. I'm into this idea of like doing a quick recording, posting it up pretty quickly. Like it feels good. It feels good to finally do it. We've been talking about it for so long, or I've been talking about it for so long. I feel like I'm not like makes me like less of a piece of shit for finally doing it. And now I can actively criticize whoever I want because I'm doing it. Like no, you can't say anything bad about it. You can't like, oh, he's not doing anything. I am. I am doing something now. I'm finally
Giving yourself a free pass to criticize others is always a good motivator for really doing anything.
Mm-hmm. That's why I'm doing it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the again. It's like I'm doing this out of spite so that I can spite hate. It's healthy. I mean, if human creation. Listen, if Tim Pool has taught me anything, jealousy will get you far. God. And I hope that we can start like consistent beef with Tim Pool.
I don't know about him. I don't think that would happen. Like he won't care until you have an audience.
I just hope that
That's the only time he responds to drama, especially direct drama with somebody.
oh yeah, oh damn, yeah, and I guess I don't use Twitter yet. I'll have to use Twitter if I really want to get under his skin. Cause then it'll be like super public. Like if if I'm calling him out, like he'll like if I really want to make sure he sees it. Because Tim Pool's probably not gonna watch a 4-hour video.
No way.
But I don't know, like that thumbnail. Bald Tim Pool. You want pithy. You got pithy. One thing I was doing earlier, though, I was reading about the railroad, the rail car like getting overturned or derailed
Yeah.
in Ohio,
Mhm.
and you know the classic bit we were talking about earlier is look at this, nobody's talking about it, is what everybody is saying,
Right.
which is kind of it's getting old because the other thing is like, well, can somebody do anything about it? And we know nobody will. But I was reading this write up that someone did on like what the cause of it was, and they were basically saying, the rail company's gonna try to blame everybody, but they're gonna try to accept no responsibility at all, which is a classic, right? Like you kind of don't expect anything else.
Right.
But this guy like made this write up on Reddit, and I was reading it, where he basically explained like the fact that it's all due to maintenance issues, right? Which makes sense, but it's all because they PSR, I think Pacific PRS, Pacific Railway, whatever it is, the company that manages that train. This guy was explaining all the different changes that they've made over the past however many years now that caused this to happen. And the first one that he explained, and it like blew me away, is that they're making these trains ridiculously long. They're making trains that are like 3 miles long. And
Holy shit.
yeah, and it's different than like what it used to be, because trains used to, like, you could throw one or two cars on a train and it was like efficient enough. It was like, yeah, you would like basically call up the rail company and be like, hey, I've got a load, like, can you come pick this up? And they'll be like, yeah, no problem, we'll come pick it up and take it to a train yard where it can actually like get loaded onto like a hub and get sent out. But oh shit, they decided, well, we don't want to do that anymore because it is expensive, basically, and it's like less efficient is like what the main problem is. And so they've slowly over time been lengthening these trains up to, like, now they're up to 3 miles or something. But the problem is that like the rails aren't designed to hold trains that are that long, and so just from sheer length, it's causing massive problems on the train cars and the rails themselves, like damaging the rails. Which, that's fucked, right? Because like they're more worried about like centralizing all transportation rather than making it so that it's like, functional. So that's one. The second thing that they're doing is apparently the train car operators and maintainers used to get at least 3 minutes to inspect every train car when it came into the, I don't know, train depot or whatever. And the company has reduced that time down to 90 seconds to inspect each train car for safety.
That rules.
Yeah, right. And then the other thing that happens with these train cars is basically like the length of these cars plus like them not getting maintained, basically like guarantees that, like, hey, your train wheels will fail. And what happens when they fail is that the wheels always catch fire, basically, because they're hitting the tracks funny, and it causes a ton of friction, and it just causes ignition. And that's known as a hot box, when like one of these train cars is like on fire. And they, maybe that's not a big deal because the train cars are sort of designed to, I guess, sort of be protected from that. Like, if something's on fire, it doesn't mean that everything in the car necessarily also catches on fire. Except when these things don't get maintained for, a number of trips, eventually these wheels fail, causing these cars to derail. And then what happens after that is, well, they derail, and then all of a sudden the things that were in the car are now exposed to ignition source in the flaming wheels, thus leading to a derailment and then subsequent immolation of the contents in the train car, and they know that this is like going to happen, right? And one of the things that happened like back in November, if you'll recall, is the railroad worker strike, right? Like they were trying to
Yeah.
strike to get benefits. Well, they weren't just trying to get benefits; they were also trying to get additional safety measures and trying to basically get these companies to like, that 90-second maintenance time. Like that's whack. They were trying to get it so that they had to increase that back up to like a safe amount and a number of other things. Well, then Congress comes in and, bipartisan bill makes it illegal for them to strike, right? And Biden, being the union man that he is, was basically, his word on it was basically like, oh, it was really hard to do this, but I needed to prevent an economic disaster because if
Yeah.
the train workers strike, then like, we don't have any like our logistical
That
networks
cheap
are
bullshit.
right, and it's compounded, and it always comes back to the fucking car problem, because what happens is what used to happen is companies would call up the railroad company and be like, hey, I've got a rail car or two's worth of shipment, like freight. Can you take it? And they used to just go, yeah, and they send out one locomotive, pick up the thing, take it to a yard, and then like it's a centralized hub from there. It gets sent out to wherever in the country. Well, now the railroad companies have made this so prohibitively expensive, and like the schedule is so insane because they have 3 mile long cars, like trains, that like you can't just throw your thing on the back, right? Like you have to be on this grand master schedule, and it's impossible. So you know what companies do instead? They call up like semi truck hauling companies, like freight companies from that perspective. And the problem with that is that, well, now you have so many more semi trucks on the road, which causes how many accidents. It causes more stress on the logistics of the highways, and it damages highways over time. And you know who pays for the maintenance of the highways is the taxpayer. So because
Right.
these railroad companies don't want to do their job, right, and like actually provide logistical support to the companies that would pay for it, they've ruined it. And the reason that like all of our previous like legislation that prevents them from doing these things, the reason why that didn't work is because now they've all the old companies that got broken up have like re-merged into like these mega companies. And so
Hmm.
and Congress won't do anything about it because like let's be honest, half of the Congress is probably in the pocket of these railroad companies, and the
Yeah.
other half is like just dumb.
Yeah, it's one of those things that the system, and I put that, I guess, in quotes, but also just speaking bluntly, because, the government and everything, the economy is just one big system, is so complex that it's really easy for things to just kind of get swept away, like that safety check
Yeah,
and whatnot. Little things like that that add up over time. It's the combination of you're not letting us check to make sure these things are running okay and that they're safe to be on the rails, but also you're putting so many on there that it compounds the wear issue, not even just on the cars themselves, but on the tracks.
yeah, that
So that
was
makes and that probably wears the train cars out even more too.
exactly. And so like just even the like idea that they know this, right? Like the engineers, and there are people in charge that know this, but it's cheaper, I guess, or whatever. It promotes the stockholders or whatever to just ignore it. It's like to pay the occasional, you know, what they're probably going to have to pay like a few $1 million for this explosion in Ohio, and that's probably cheaper than like actually maintaining the tracks and the cars and like doing shorter rails and all this stuff,
Right.
which is insane. Like they would just, and like this has happened before. Like wasn't there a car, like maybe 20 years ago that they knew was like going to kill people. Like they worked it out to where they were
Yeah,
like,
it was some kind of seatbelt issue,
was it a
I
seatbelt thing?
think.
I
If I remember correctly, it was, yeah, some kind of seatbelt issue. I don't remember the car.
but they like worked it out and they said, well, the cost to like what was it? The cost to recall the cars or like fix them or offer refunds or whatever that they would have to do would be more than to go through lawsuits of people who of like the family suing the car manufacturer for like knowingly putting the cars out there and letting people die. That was
Right, it
cheaper than
was.
fixing the cars.
Yeah, they estimated ahead of time how
Yeah.
much they'd reasonably have to pay out everybody who suffered from this.
And
And that's, yeah, it all comes down to just one simple calculation.
yeah, but it is, you know what's wild about that is that I guess I guess the trolley problem has been solved. Like they worked it out,
Yeah,
you know.
it's just math.
Yeah. Well, now,
Instead of thinking, it's money. It's money
yeah.
instead of people. You're gonna drive your train into one pile of money, and like drive it into, as in like you're going to get the pile. You're gonna drive your train into this pile of money or this pile of money.
Yeah.
Which pile of money do you want to arrive at?
The one where I get to keep more of the money. Okay.
Yeah, the big one.
Yeah.
Okay, there's also a bunch of people buried underneath that money.
No, yeah, the
Yeah,
big
okay.
pile. Yeah.
Yeah, just the big pile.
Say no more. Christ. Like it's
It's awesome.
you know what? It's pretty satisfactory. Because in this game, there's I know that you can get trains and you can set up like rails across the whole world and set up like this insane logistics network. And people on the subreddit and stuff talk about how it's a nightmare. Frankly, I'm looking forward to like I want to put as many alien creatures on the tracks as possible. And man, I'm gonna like load up nuclear waste on the rails and like put dynamite on the rails and blow stuff up just to like simulate the experience.
You could probably get Buzzfeed to write an article about you.
Yeah, you figure like by
Yeah,
saying
Satisfactory Gamer simulates effects of Ohio train crash for, you have to make it a good reason. You have to, like, for educational reasons, for
oh
charity.
no
I
no
don't know.
here's like the big brain move. I need to get big enough, and when I'm a million subscribers, maybe I will be, and I'll start streaming, right? And what I'm gonna do is I'm going to get AOC to stream with me, and we're gonna play Satisfactory. I'm gonna play multiplayer Satisfactory, and she's gonna stream with me, and I'm gonna be like, "Wow, AOC, that's sussy. That's a sus move that you're doing there. Are you marinating me, AOC? I can't believe I'm playing with a congresswoman. Wow!" And she'll be very impressed with my conveyor belts and like how neat everything is, and like I won't even tell her about how I'm doing this. Like in my head canon, I'm doing this for like Tim Allen, who is telling me to like destroy this world. I won't even tell her about all that, and I'll show her like my rail network, and then I'll be like, oh no, AOC, look, there's dynamite on the rails, and oh no, it's exploded. Oh God, AOC, no, look at that. And it'll cause this like enormous disaster. There's gonna be like nuclear waste everywhere. There's gonna be hog remains everywhere from like where I've killed so many hogs because of my like railroad disaster. And then I'll say, oh man, if only there was some, regulation to stop me from doing this on purpose. And then like I'll look at the camera and I'll say like, hey, can I get some regulations in the chat? And then she'll be forced to fix the railroad problem. And then Buzzfeed will have to write about me. And I don't care about any of that. I'm all doing this for clout because then, because I'm trying to be a grifter, right? Except I'm not grifting, or whatever my take is. I'm not certain of that yet. I'll decide later. And then we can like have the left hate us for I guess, like putting AOC in this weird spot, and we'll make the right hate us for I don't know, platforming her. And then when everybody hates us, we'll announce our own special subscription thing where we sell some kind of merch. It can't be like mugs because that's already being done. Oh, it's our
Yeah, that's Steven Crowder's thing.
it's our Civil War pancake mix.
Yeah, Civil War pancake mix.
Yeah. So I think that sounds great.
It is a hell of a plan. That's about all I could say or make of it.
You know what? Fair enough. I'll take it.
It had a lot of steps.
Well, I mean, not really.
It sounded like it did.
Name all the steps then. If you know
Well, I
all the
couldn't.
steps.
There were a lot. That's what I'm saying. I had a memory. A lot of them got memory hold.
Oh.
Like you're playing Among Us, but
No.
Satisfactory.
I'm not playing Among Us, but that's just how like you have to talk to her.
I have to talk to her.
I'm pretty sure like if you're a Twitch streamer, which I don't know if I will be, you know, maybe I'll be streaming on YouTube. You know, whoever pays me more.
YouTube will pay you $1 billion.
Like I think when AOC streamed with those streamers, they were playing Among Us. I think.
Yeah, she played Among Us on that one stream. Yeah.
And like that's how they talk.
Yeah, when they're playing Among Us.
I assume that's
What you gotta embrace the Satisfactory lingo.
Oh yeah,
If you're gonna be real Satisfactory, you have to be real Satisfactory.
Well, I mean, I don't.
She's already played Among Us, too.
Oh yeah.
That hype train's over.
Oh.
That
Damn.
hype train's been derailed,
Oh.
and it's poisoned all those streams and rivers.
Maybe like I can just explain that. Like I'll be like, hey AOC, we gotta stream together, and then you know we'll get on stream and be like, hey oh AOC man, I wanted us to play Among Us, but that hype train is derailed. If only there was some regulation to prevent this. And can I get some regulations in the chat? You know, and then chat will start spamming like regulations like safety regulations. You know, about like independent review of rail cars or something. And regulations on like the length, like oh you can't stack more than this many Among Uses in a row. That's too many of imposters. You know, you got to speak the language that they understand. I think that's the only way. That's not that many steps. I mean, this really.
It was a lot. It took a long time to explain your whole plan.
Okay, listen, I'm long-winded, but that doesn't mean that my plan is like a lot of steps. Well, okay, well, hold on, you're right, because I do need a Buzzfeed writer to write about this. So I need it in like listicle format, right? Like top 10, top five streamers to stream with AOC. Top 5 regulations suggested on AOC streams.
There you go.
Number 1.
Top 5 regulations to come from Twitch. Number 1, deepfaked. Yours will be on the very bottom because it's already like train safety is such a low priority. But like the honor is just to, you know, be on Buzzfeed.
Yes. Listen, they're gonna make a comeback, okay? If they, assuming that they, well don't call it a comeback because they never left, right?
Okay.
And then maybe they'll hire me. You think BuzzFeed would hire me, and so that I can quit and then make a video about like why I left BuzzFeed? Actually, I'm just gonna figure out like what every allegiance that I could have is, including BuzzFeed, and you know, any other like
Now that is a grift.
yeah, and then I'll
Yeah.
just like make videos about like why I left this allegiance, why I left the Tim Pool friend cult.
I mean, really, you could probably just start doing that. People would click it,
Mhm.
and then like you develop a bit of a following, just people who recognize you. Oh, this is the guy who left that thing,
This is guy
and he
who
left this thing.
stopped
He left
watching
all my
Tim Pool.
most hated things.
This is the guy who left the Charles Trippy Friend Corps, the CTFXC. Do you remember that? That's a deep cut
I
for
don't.
you. That's
Was
a
that
deep.
was that a guy?
Yeah,
Charles
yeah,
Trippy?
yeah. He would perhaps be a cuck adjacent YouTuber. I don't know. I don't remember for certain.
I gotta look.
He, if I recall, he was like one of the first big vlog channels on YouTube. Like he made like he was like one of the first big like daily vlog channels, where they were like, oh, we've made 4,000 never missed an upload daily vlogs.
Who the hell is this? I've never seen this guy.
He was like pretty early on in YouTube, and I remember there was
Oh yeah, uploads 14 years ago, 15.
yeah, not that you can search
If I could go
by
to oldest, yeah, I was gonna say I could figure out how long, but 16 looks like it stops at 16.
I mean that sounds about right, I would guess, because that's when I first heard about him.
He looks like the kind of YouTuber who you would have seen people upset about, like because he died.
I
Here, I'm
know.
sending you a in the Discord chat. But yeah, he looks like somebody who, like in 2011, I would have seen a lot of videos about people being like, "Rest in peace, Trippy Charles."
Oh God, that does look exactly like it. Like that was the picture that they would use. This black
Yeah,
and white.
he's dead. He died, from something people aren't really talking about because it's probably drugs.
Well, no, actually, what's funny? I don't think this is like actually funny necessarily because this is like kind of shitty. But like probably three things about him. I never really like. I don't think I really watched his videos, but like I've definitely seen a couple, which is how I like know about him.
Mhm.
The three things I know about him is there was a bunch of drama at one point because like he was married to this girl that like he started the channel with, or I don't know if they started the channel together or what exactly the details of that were, but they did it for a really long time, and then they got married, and then they got a divorce, and then shortly after he married another woman, and she had the same name, and like there was a bunch of drama around like, did he cheat on her? What happened? And like a bunch of people hated her, right? Because she ruined the channel, or I don't know, by leaving. Any number of things. That's one thing I remember hearing about.
Charles Nally is his other channel.
Yeah. And I guess
So there's an Alley 1 and an Alley 2.
Yes. The second thing I remember is that he had brain cancer. And I think he had brain cancer with the first Alley. And then he healed himself of brain cancer. And then
Badass.
he got it again. With
Badass.
like more recently, and I guess he's healed. I don't really know.
With Alley 2?
I guess. And that's all I know about him.
Trippy Trev. You know who Trippy Trev is?
Trippy Trev?
You can watch him later. He makes really good music.
I don't know.
Awesome music.
I don't know if I
love.
know. The name kind of like rings a bell.
Say my name, say my name. You know I'm Trippy Trevor. Something, something, something.
Careful,
If you know, you know.
don't get us copyright struck. If that was
Good,
like a really good rendition.
Man, Jesus Christ. I've been scrolling through this guy's shit with Allie, his wife, one of his wives. And it just keeps going. I'm only at 3 years ago uploads. They upload all the fucking time.
Yeah, I think they literally upload daily. I think they've like uploaded daily vlogs for literally the past, however
That's
many
not
years.
healthy.
No, of course not.
That's just crazy. Well, I mean, it's more feasible today, I guess. Like, dude, I saw some TikToks this weekend about editing, and I think in Premiere there's a thing now where you can edit by transcript
Yeah.
or whatever. So the AI will figure out what the transcript is, and then you can make all your cuts just looking at the script,
Mm-hmm.
and then you can fine tune them later on. But
God.
yeah, it's like holy fucking shit. I need to get into that because that would help a ton, especially with editing VODs and other shit, and just like stuff like this. If you actually wanted to get to a point where you were editing things,
Oh, for my thing.
yeah.
Yeah, the only thing I would see myself doing with that would be to like cut something out.
Well, right. You do
If
Dr. Kodak clips.
Oh yeah, yeah, I guess I could do clips. I meant like
Yeah.
if we doxed ourselves.
Well, there's that too. Yeah.
But I mean, I'm
Well,
not
that was. Is my beep work?
Yeah, your beep works.
Okay, so, well, it doesn't matter because it's not. It bleeps it for everybody, not just you. But the bar we go to, I went there this weekend and got a growler,
Mm-hmm.
and it was nice, honestly, because it was so cheap. I had gone to Walmart and pondered buying myself a 6-pack, and I just couldn't bring myself to do it because it was so much fucking money. So,
A six pack's like, yeah, I mean, I guess like they do
well, I
get
mean,
to
like
12 bucks.
relative,
Yeah,
yeah,
right, right,
relative
right,
to what it used to be. Like, I mean, I remember spending like $8,
right.
$9,
Sure.
dollar per, and it was just like, what the fuck? But I know you can fill up a growler for like $8, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So I went and did that, and I was thinking to myself, it would be funny to get a growler once a week and just like stream. Because I like one thing, I never used to do it, and I don't do it often, but I did it. It was after my birthday because I had bought beer. I had bought myself some Sam Adams to just have on the stream, and I never drank it. So then there was one night I was just like, fuck it. I want a beer, and I got like 4 beers in, and I was playing, I think Halo or something, and I was just having a blast, just being a little tipsy and running
Mm-hmm.
around shooting people. And then I was like, oh man, that would be fun to drink from a comically big jug on stream. But then I realized I'd have to cover things up to prevent myself from doxing myself.
What would you have to cover up?
The logo.
I mean, you can
Logo.
get.
Oh, wait. We were talking about hometown yesterday. You know,
Yeah, fair enough.
if you're gonna be that general.
If you want, I have growlers that are unmarked.
Nah, I wouldn't need to go that far. I'd just like I'd just tape like a big X on it, like a moonshine bottle.
Yeah, that's what you got to do. Is drinking on stream like
It's
kosher?
fine as long as you're not. Yeah, as long as you're not like doing it in excess. At least on Twitch, I don't know about the rules on YouTube for streaming. I'm sure they're just the same.
You'll have to stream your drinking on Rumble.
I've thought about making stuff on Rumble just for the hell of it, because it's like, what the fuck does it matter anyway? Just because if you make any kind of wave, they'd probably suck your dick.
Yeah, and if you're
Hard
just,
score there.
I don't think you'll make any money, but if you want to get some BJs, Rumble might be the place to go. Now, admittedly, it would be by Rumble, like, employees. But, you know?
I just want them to pay me to say the N word, like Spotify pays Joe Rogan to say the N word.
Oh, yes, so true.
100 million, well, $1 million per N word.
Man.
Isn't that crazy?
And what's crazy is that he was able to do it before he even knew he was getting paid. Listen, do what you love and you'll never work a day in your life. You know what I mean?
Yeah, say the N word. If that's what you're into, I'm not into
no,
that.
I'm not into that either.
But if someone paid me $100 million so that I could go to, like needy communities and give it to them, because I'd give away the money to people who needed it.
Oh, yeah?
$100 million, of course,
All of it?
especially if, yeah,
Yeah, you would.
give me $100 million and we'll see.
Listen, growlers are like $8 right now. You do not need that money. You're good.
Well, and that was the other thing too. Is just like I figure if I go relatively often, the thing pays for itself. It's not a big deal.
What? So it's how much is it for like to fill up the growler? $8, really?
I think it's like $8, maybe. I don't even know. I didn't even ask. I just because I knew it was just going to be cheaper over time. And it'd give me an excuse to, go out.
Fair enough.
Maybe like once a week or something.
That's not a bad deal. Like that'd be.
No.
I'm almost tempted to do that.
Yeah, and then I don't have to hang out in like a loud place with annoying people.
You can take
If
your
it's not bad.
jug of beer elsewhere.
Yeah, I can drink on the go. I can hop in the car
Man,
and keep the party going.
the modern marvels of the 21st century. Right? Like
The Avengers.
Yeah, that is drinking on the go is the Avengers of drinking. I guess. Or were you saying that the Avengers drink on the go?
No, I'm saying the Avengers was a modern Marvel.
Oh, yes.
That's just a modern Marvel. That's what it is.
I prefer a more modern Marvel like Thor Ragnarok. It's just the only modern Marvel movie I've seen.
I remember enjoying that. I watched it on Netflix when it was on there a long time ago.
I thought it was
Alright.
pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, relatively, like, for,
Yeah.
for a Marvel movie. It was no RRR.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, I was blown away by how good that movie was.
Yeah, seriously. I can't believe, like, just more people aren't talking about it.
I can believe that just because, I don't think that, like, Bollywood is something people are completely familiar with, or at least they're, like, used to the memes about it, where, like, there's, like, some soap opera or something where they do all these crazy edits to it. To where, like, that's what a lot of Bollywood films are in people's minds.
Yeah, but fair enough, because I was going to say, I don't think it was technically a Bollywood film. I think it was a Tollywood film.
If that's the case, then, I don't know anything because I'm uncultured.
Maybe racist.
Maybe, probably.
I didn't
Give me
want to say
$100
it.
million and we'll find out.
I guess we'll never know then. Well, actually, here's the thing. When we have 1 million subs, if just every single one of you would send Matt
Give me $1.
$100, you will have
yeah.
your $100 million. And then we'll find out if you are a racist. We must know.
Yes.
Because if you are, we'll have to cancel you. It's the right thing to do.
But I'll have $100 million, so it'll be okay.
Well, no,
It won't be that bad.
It won't be okay, right? Like, you're done for. and you have to pay the price. And the price is that like, I guess a lot of people will block you on Twitter or something.
That'll suck.
You know,
I don't want that.
it's
What the fuck? Why are you doing that?
I don't know if you get
Why would
canceled.
you do that to me? Well, you're the one canceling me.
No, I wouldn't cancel you.
You're telling me right now the whole playbook.
Oh no, I wouldn't do it.
Would
I'm
you?
just saying the people would have to.
Would you?
Not our audience, right? They support you. They support us through thick and thin. Through scandal and controversy.
I wouldn't.
You would cancel yourself?
Not myself, but I wouldn't support somebody through scandal and controversy. I have principles, which is why people buy my pancake mix, my Civil War pancake mix.
Man, we got to figure out the recipe for that, so that we can start selling it for the big
No,
bucks.
somebody else makes it.
Oh,
You can
okay.
just sell it.
Like a label.
Yeah, that's how. Yeah. It's like when a celebrity puts their name on like a brand of alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like that. Fuck.
Like Brad Pitt? Doesn't Brad Pitt do that?
Does Brad Pitt do that? I didn't know
Or
Brad
George
Pitt
Clooney,
had
maybe?
a vodka. I didn't know. I'm thinking more like Kiss. Remember Kiss?
The band?
Yeah.
What do they
Gene
have?
Simmons. They have everything. Kiss has a Kiss branded everything.
Really?
All kinds of stuff. Oh yeah. Have you ever seen the Kiss coffin?
No.
It's a coffin that's $20,000.
What the hell?
Yeah, and it's Kiss. It's got all the Kiss shit on it.
Like all of it? Like all 4 of them? Or 5 of them?
Yeah.
Or whatever?
Most of them.
Wow.
I'll send you a picture. The Kiss coffin. Yeah, I knew a guy who worked as like a Gene Simmons' personal assistant
Wow.
because he was a cool guy.
One cool rockin' dude.
Trying to find you a good picture to screenshot here. The Kiss coffin. How do I? There we go. But yeah, it's just a coffin with a Kiss on it, and it's I think $20,000. I'm not gonna fact check that because I think 20,000 is a good round number.
Man.
Oh no, it's shit. It's 3,300.
Oh, that's a lot more reasonable. I was gonna say like
3,900. I thought it was whatever. Maybe it was 2,000, and then with inflation, it's up to that.
Thanks, Joe Biden.
Honestly, so true.
If it wasn't for him, maybe we could afford our Kiss coffins. Honey, a new Kiss coffin just came out. Honey, wake up! A new rock and roll band's coffin just released.
Would you bury yourself in like a merchandised coffin?
Do I have
Like
to pay for it?
a branded coffin? Like if PewDiePie came out with a coffin with his little waves on it,
Oh man.
would you go for something like that? It doesn't have to be PewDiePie.
Yeah.
If the answer is no, what would you buy? You had to choose. Be branded, a branded burial.
I want a okay. I want a large, like I want it in the shape of a race car bed, but I want it in a coffin, but I want it branded to Noel Miller. I want his
Ew.
branding on it.
Ugh. I'm just imagining his head, his like shaved head on it.
Well, you know,
Ugh,
yeah.
gross.
Everybody's got to make sacrifices. And I guess that's a sacrifice that I'm gonna have to make.
God, fucking damn it!
You playing your ant game again?
I'm playing Ant Game.
Oh, that's okay. I'm not.
I've been playing this same level for 3 days. Yeah, it's like the episode of SpongeBob where SpongeBob and Patrick are up in the treehouse,
Hmm.
and then Squidward climbs up, and he thinks they're up there having so much fun. And they're like, "We have been stuck up here for 3 days." That's always like one of my favorite SpongeBob bits of all time.
Oh shit. I I don't think I remember. I mean, I obviously I watched it like a good chunk of SpongeBob growing up, but I don't know if I remember the treehouse one.
That was the Magic Conch episode.
Oh,
Remember the Magic Conch?
yeah. I remember. Everybody remembers Magic Conch.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the one.
I was especially reminded of it because you sent that GIF, Magic Conch GIF. What will they do about this? What will they do about the train derailment? Nothing. Oh god.
But yeah, I'm playing this fucking ant game, and I'm trying to protect my A. I keep playing it on hard, because you get to choose the difficulty every time before you go into a level. And I like to play it on hard because, you know, it's a legitimately challenging game, and I enjoy that. But it's so grueling because you'll get most of the way through a level, and now I'm especially like trying out different strategies as I go,
Mhm.
and it's just a pain in my ass.
Pain in your ass.
That's what it is.
Yeah, your ant game sounds hard, and I'm
It's very hard.
really enjoying not playing a hard game. Not
I'm
playing
enjoying
that kind of hard game.
I like playing hard games.
I don't think I'm
In
hard
games
enough.
where it's like, if I lose, I know it's my fault. And not like some kid just like being too good at the game.
I mean, that's probably why we pretty much stopped playing Fortnite.
God. I love Fortnite, but fuck me, I can't fucking deal with that game. It drives me fucking crazy.
For now. I
Well,
bet you.
it's just
I don't
Oh, go
know.
ahead.
I
The
was,
new season, you think it's going to change with the new season?
no, I don't know. I just say like because every single time like we leave Fortnite, we always come back, or we have.
Well, right, but there have been more and more like changes coming to the game since we started playing it. And those changes have been so wacky and so consistent that we've been playing less and less over time. Like less and less and less and less and less.
Yeah, fair enough. Because when I first started playing, we played all the time.
Because it was fun. It was a fucking blast. And now it's just a big fucking pain in the ass.
Yeah, it is.
I'm just sick of getting lasered by kids who I suspect have aim assist. I can't say for certain because I don't know and I'm stupid, but it feels that way. And you feel stupid saying that because
Yeah.
it sounds like you sound like some man shouting at clouds.
Old man shouts at clouds.
Yeah, I am an old man and I'm shouting at the clouds.
Yeah, the older I get, definitely the more I like. I feel that way. I feel like, oh
Yeah.
yeah, I'm shouting at clouds. That's how I feel when I drive through town and I like am angry about the cars.
Yeah,
Clouds don't care that I'm
that's how I
yelling.
feel about everything. I feel that way about the train. I feel that way about the clouds. The thing that sucks about the train thing, though, is it's like, even if you're minding your own fucking business, they poisoned the water.
Yeah,
Like, what the fuck?
yeah, you're done for.
Like, you can't even mind your own business. Because they'll just poison the fucking water, dude.
Yeah, and like, not just a little, not just like a
No,
little
like,
bit. That's like, yeah, just filter your water or something, but enough to where it's like, oh yeah, hey, this will kill you. Like
Right.
animals all around the explosion. Have you seen like they're just like passing out
They're
and
just, like,
dying?
passing out and dying. Yeah, I've seen it. No, it pisses me off. Like I know I said yesterday, it's the whole thing of just like people are raising awareness. I read the thing about like nobody's talking about this, and nothing's gonna be done about it. So what fucking difference does it matter if anyone talks about it? But I can't stop reading about it. I can't look away from this. I literally can't look away from the train wreck. And it's just it drives me fucking crazy. Cause like I said, like you can't not pay attention or want something to be done about it. Because they poison the fucking water. And that's
Yeah.
the thing. Like I said in the group chat today, was just like somebody has to get on Minecraft and go to somebody's house, so go to somebody's server and hit them really hard with a sword.
Yeah.
That's where we're at. Like, I don't know what else you can fucking do. Because we literally went through the whole thing of like, go on strike, fight for better working conditions,
Go on strike. They made it illegal.
negotiate, attempts to negotiate, do the right thing. And you know what they fucking did? They said to fuck off. They said, fuck off. We're poisoning your water, idiot. I don't know how you don't go fucking crazy. I don't know how you don't fucking lose your mind. I'm trying not to.
No, you will. Because, see, right now, the poison water just hasn't gotten to us yet. But eventually it will, and then your mind will, like, you'll start getting holes in your brain.
I know. It pisses me off.
Yeah, and it
Like,
should.
that shit sucks. Like, it's the whole thing of, like, there are, like, communities in the South, in different places where they're like, oh, don't drink the water, or there's something in the water down there.
There's
And yeah,
literally.
there fucking is. They've been poisoning water forever, everywhere, all the time. And it's like, now I live in the Ohio River Valley. God damn it.
Yeah.
Fuck!
I saw a thing that they said that they estimate 25 million people are going to be affected by this, and I think that's got to be low number. That's got to be
Yeah, that's not even right.
no. Well, because like you also have to consider. So there's the water that is directly drank, and then like what happens if you start watering crops with this
Right.
water? Do the crops just die, or do they like end up soaking it up, and then you eat a bag of spinach, and then all of a sudden like you drop dead because of vinyl chloride or whatever the hell was in the train?
Fuck yeah.
And
It rules.
I think I saw that like what were they offering, like wasn't it like $5 for the
Yeah, they were
inconvenience?
offering. They were offering people $5. It might as well have been like a coupon to McDonald's or something.
Not even.
Yeah, not even. McDonald's is expensive as shit.
Like it's just a what is it? It'd just be like a coupon for like a free basket of fries.
I don't know how people aren't just like fucking furious.
I'm surprised that there aren't just straight up like, I don't know, droves of people with pitchforks and torches.
Yeah.
Like, quite honestly.
That's the most reasonable thing.
Yeah.
Your fucking water got poisoned.
They're
Deuce.
literally killing us.
Yeah, man.
They're literally poisoning your water.
Fucking
Like-
rules, dude. I love America. This is fucking awesome. And this is another thing too, where I was thinking about that with like just like public transportation and rail systems and bicycles and all that. And it's like if we used trains, we'd probably give a fuck about trains.
Yeah.
But we don't. we don't have any reliance on trains for like everyday use. So when the train guys go on strike, everybody's like, "Wow, they don't get sick days? That's crazy."
Well, it's also in some
And
of
that's
their
it.
contracts, it is illegal for them to quit.
Right.
Right? So like if
Which is
you are
awesome.
working a job, what happened and you quit, they can sue you and take all of your stuff, and if you refuse, they will send police to your house. And if you refuse to go to jail for quitting your job, they will kill you. And then if you say, hey, the things that we're doing are unsafe and are going to kill people, they'll just ignore you and tell you to
Yeah.
shut up, nerd.
The literal president. The
The,
literal president will
the,
tell you to fuck off.
the president will tell you to fuck off and eat some ice cream.
I hate this game. I fucking hate this ant game. I'm gonna fucking lose it.
Man, what a metaphor, the ant game.
I don't know. I feel like if I had a queen, I'd be a little less angry. I'd be, you just be an ant.
There are,
Find food.
no, if
Bring
you're
it
just talking
back.
about straight up being an ant, I was gonna say like, fair enough, I guess. Uh, there are like real, I don't know if it's like political people or like economists or whatever, who sincerely have put out the argument that like the only way for us to be an effective society is basically to have a monarch.
Oh, I understand that argument 100%. And especially when you look at like American democracy versus systems like China or Russia. Like especially in the direct competition between the two. I'm not necessarily saying that like China or Russia are like the model I want to go off of for my society. But when it comes to us, like toe to toe against either one of them, yeah, they just have to fucking wait for whatever dickhead president is in office in that moment to just get voted out, and then they can do whatever they want. Where
Yeah,
it's like, yeah, they fucked around less during Trump. They invaded Crimea during Obama, and with Biden, oh fuck, let's just take the whole thing.
yeah, like they literally have to wait either 4 or 8 years,
Right.
which is, a relatively like, you know,
It's
who
nothing.
gives a shit like time
Right.
scale.
To us, that's forever in the political landscape. But to like Putin, that's just like, oh, that's you know, a fifth of my entire term. That's nothing.
Yeah, he doesn't give a shit.
Yeah, they can have long term goals. Whereas with us, it's literally like, yeah, this president gets in and they have to start working on their stupid promises that they made to the most insane people during their primary,
Yeah, and
like right away.
they're not even a hold to a lot of them, right? Like they don't give a
Oh
shit.
no. Or if they do hold to them, it's going to be some watered down version of whatever the fuck they said.
God.
It's all dumb. It's all just crazy.
And
And that's the thing is the more you see what's going on, the crazier it is. Like with this train thing, like you pointed out, Biden is supposedly the big union guy. Oh wow.
yeah, great job, bud.
He fucked the union and he fucked all of us because of it.
He fucked us all.
Or at least those of us in the Ohio River Valley.
Yeah, the 10% of us that live in this part of the country.
Yeah, it's just 10%.
Yeah, it's 10%.
Really though,
God.
it doesn't affect most people. Why should they care?
Listen, they don't. They don't
They
use
don't,
trains.
and that's the that's the other crazy thing.
No one's talking about this.
Right. No one is talking about it. And they aren't. No one is talking. Like, that's a true thing. I can understand people who are talking about it being upset in, like, activism. We gotta do something about this. What are you gonna do?
No one's talking about this.
You gonna pull the poison out of the water?
No, you're not gonna do that.
Probably. I don't know. Chemistry. You could probably throw a different chemical in the water that'll get that chemical out.
Yeah, but it's like have you ever seen that episode of The Simpsons where
Mhm.
they have like some sort of like insect problem in the town, like too many mosquitoes or something, and so they decide, how are we going to fix the mosquito problem? So they unleash a horde of frogs. Well, then they have a frog problem. So then they're like, how do we fix the frog problem? So they unleash a horde of snakes. All the frogs are gone, but now they have a massive snake problem. And they're like, how do we fix the snake problem? So they unleash a horde of eagles on the town. And then they're like, well, how do we fix the eagle problem? And then I think at the end of the episode, they have like a horde of gorillas, like
You know what this
roaming
reminds
through
me
the
of?
town.
I used to know an old woman who lived in a shoe.
Mm-hmm.
No, that was the bit. That was the joke.
Is that Simpsons bit based off of like a little nursery rhyme?
I mean, I don't know. It's just wacky Simpsons logic. But yeah, that's what that whole nursery rhyme is about.
Yeah, and that's what's going to happen with the chemicals in the water. Like this week, it's vinyl chloride or whatever. Next week, we get a different chemical in the water. And like every like week to week, like maybe we can start betting on it. Like, oh shit, like maybe this is the one that'll, make everything taste good. This week it'll make everything taste really bitter. This one, don't drink this one. It'll make your blood get really thick.
So maybe we should just, do the whole alpha male Zen thing where it's like to care about this
Mm,
is actually like
super
beta and
cringe,
shit.
dude.
Right. Yeah,
Dude.
like when you let go of everything is when you're going to find peace. The water's poisoned? Cringe, dude. Why do you
Oh,
even care?
you care about that,
Right.
dude? Oh, dude, we gotta work on that. Like, you aren't gonna get any bitches caring about that.
Yeah, this should be the litmus test for like, are you alpha? If you're a big dog, do they say big dog? I don't even. Well, that's
That's what we
I've pretty
say.
much exposed myself. I've exposed myself
What?
as not being an alpha
Oh yeah.
by getting all upset about this and freaking out.
Listen, I'll teach you the ways. I didn't get very
Oh, I
upset
don't want
about
to
it.
be an alpha.
No, 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 no. Now listen, I didn't get very upset about it. I was just simply stating the facts that I read in a Reddit post, and I purposely didn't go through that redditor's Reddit history because I didn't want to like be tainted. I didn't want that information tainted because God, that those people are animals. But listen, I'll teach you to like be immune to poison and chemicals. We'll do like a little Breaking Bad thing. Like you can be my Jesse.
I don't think you can be immune to chemicals in the water.
What do you mean? Maybe if you're a
Like
beta.
physically immune
Yeah,
to
maybe if
no.
you're a beta.
The point of that was to like not care. If you don't care, that's one thing, but you're not going to escape chemicals in the water.
No?
No. I mean, I
Hmm.
don't know. I haven't drank chemicals diluted in water. At least not that I'm aware of.
Well, not yet.
Yeah.
You will.
At some point I will. If
Soon.
not, if I haven't already,
Yeah, soon. Soon.
it's very reasonable to expect that I have.
Yeah, man. How about fluoride in the water?
That one's fine as far as I know. I've read all sorts of insane shit about how it's bad.
I had
But
um, I hesitate to call him a roommate in college, but I knew a guy in college who um, spent like hours explaining to me about the problems with fluoride and it like how it calcifies your third eye, your pineal gland, and all this other stuff. And
yeah, I've heard that.
yeah, he went deep into like that whole bit, and it's like kind of fun to hear. admittedly. Like, it's fun to think about a little.
Mm-hmm.
At least I have fun thinking about that stuff. But I'm like, I don't want to dox myself as a conspiracy theorist, but I think conspiracies are fun.
Well, everybody loves to read about conspiracy theories. It's just, how far do you want to go into like being a believer?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
I'll go far. Why not?
I hate these ladybugs. God fucking damn it.
But I think I'm fascinated. Like, I like a lot of conspiracy theories. I think a lot of them are just like fun, which is why like I like them. Like, I love the whole conspiracy that like humans are like the origin of humanity is that a, we were built to be slaves by an alien race called the
Yeah.
Anunnaki.
The Anunnaki.
Yeah, and they like mixed their DNA with like primate DNA to create us so that they could harvest gold. That's one of my favorites. I sincerely think that's like a really fun conspiracy.
Creative masterpiece.
Yeah, honestly, it's basically just the plot to Assassin's Creed, but
Well, yeah. 100%.
um,
Assassin's Creed is like a gateway drug to Alex Jones.
phew, man, careful. I'm posting these to YouTube. Actually, he's been on YouTube podcasts recently, hasn't he? Like,
Yeah,
I've seen
Tim
him.
Pool has him on all the time.
Yeah, okay, so I guess he's fine. Yeah, he disavowed the Kanye, so I guess we're like in the clear now, right? We just can't bring up anything that Kanye's ever said. Not
Yeah,
not that
Kanye's
I ever would,
Alex Jones.
unless I'm disavowing it. But I love like the Anunnaki one. I'm definitely like not as into political or historical based conspiracies like or modern history. Because those are just kind of like a little boring. Like I want something with like some real juice in there. Like I want
Oh,
to.
you're talking about when you say political stuff, you're talking about like stuff about Hillary Clinton,
Yeah, it's yeah,
and
Hillary
like
Clinton
Obama.
or Obama or like hell even like going back to like conspiracies about like Watergate or JFK
9/11.
and 9/11. Yeah, like well the 9/11 one's like interesting to me because I guess of like how old we were when 9/11 happened. So it just
I
like
barely remember it.
yeah, I mean I don't really remember it either, but it's just interesting that like something that was sort of so pivotal to us as like little kids. Um, when you're I don't remember how old we were, but when you're only so old and they tell you like this is what's happening and you just go okay. It's interesting, like because what else is there? It's interesting to hear like the differing opinions, I guess, on all that, but I just don't find those like nearly as like sort of fun. Because like I went nuts for the Ancient Apocalypse show on Netflix. I was like, damn, that's amazing. I love this kind of stuff.
I find that stuff super interesting, but I hated that show because it just felt so drawn out, and it was so the editing and all those B-roll shots just made it feel like an episode of Ancient Aliens. That drove me crazy.
Yeah, you did say that a lot, and admittedly, it was sort of like hokey.
It just came off hokey. I didn't appreciate that, and that's more on Netflix than anything. Because, like, fuck, man, this was cool, and you made it lame.
Well, actually, like Joe Rogan was an executive producer on it, so I bet he had something to do with it being like kind of hokey like
Probably,
that.
yeah, he probably told them to do it.
Yeah,
He definitely did. Joe Rogan.
yeah. I love any conspiracy that has to do with like you start getting aliens involved. I'm all about it. Or like Atlantis, or like I even love the Clockwork Elf stuff. that like Alex Jones talks about. You know, when you do like DMT or something,
DMT.
you see
Well,
like
his whole thing is how the elites will do DMT to talk to the Clockwork Elves and like come up with like political policy.
yeah, but you know, why not? I guess.
Well, and that's the thing. You say you don't like when, like political conspiracies, but they all are political to some extent because they all go back to like a central controlling power. And who's in control now? The people in control, dude.
Well, you saying Joe Biden talks to the Clockwork Elves?
All of them, yeah, all the time.
Damn, wake up, Joe Biden. Wake up.
Wake up, Joe Biden, wake up. I loved that meme. I loved that meme before everybody liked that meme.
I will say you were one of the original people I saw talking about that one.
Yeah, and I showed it to everybody, and y'all were like, not into it.
Yeah, we were all too
But it's
busy looking at fucking Beep Boop with that guy interviewing a bunch of crackheads somewhere. You know?
Soft white underbelly, that guy.
Maybe.
Yeah, that guy's cool. Yeah, and he was talking to the the guys in Appalachia that like bark like dogs.
That's the same guy.
Yeah, he like talks to crackheads and stuff in California, and he just travels around.
I didn't realize it was the same guy.
Or are you talking about like something like all gas no brakes? That loser.
I don't know. I okay. Back to my uh regularly scheduled I hated this guy before everybody else. I've always
Oh.
hated all gas no brakes.
I hated him after he lost the rights to his show because he didn't know how to read a fucking contract. That's when I started hating him like hardcore.
I hated him way before that.
Wow.
Yeah. Now, I hated him even more after that. After like he lost his contract because yeah, was just a moron who couldn't figure anything out.
Mm-hmm.
But I've never liked him. I never thought he was particularly like he isn't talented. He just found places to go that like he could showcase interesting people. Like when he went to the NASCAR race, whichever one he went to, and he was just like talking to people. That was just people having fun. That has nothing to do with his skill as anything. That was just him being there with a camera. And so I didn't particularly respect him, and especially because like I don't know, man. Like I'm not trying to be overly precious about these, kind of like random retards, but like if your whole joke is to clown on people just kind of having fun, especially if they aren't really hurting anybody. I don't know. I say that, and I love when like Lemon Party or we clown on Yankee in the South.
Yeah.
But that's different. They are doing it.
Yeah, the difference would be they're making actual jokes.
Yeah.
They're using their brains to be pieces of shit.
I don't think I could go so far as to call Yankee in the South pieces of shit. They're just
no. I'm not calling them pieces of shit. I'm saying people who make fun of.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So we are pieces of shit.
Yeah. No. Totally.
Okay. Yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
I don't think I could disagree. I think that would be disingenuous.
No, you can't disagree. You're making fun of people, just like enjoying themselves online.
Yeah, but I have a problem with the all gas no brakes guy doing it. Andrew Callahan, is that his name?
Yeah.
I've got a problem with him doing it because I don't like the way he does it. I don't like the way he looks. I think he looks stupid. I think his camera looks stupid. I think his jokes look stupid. I think his suit looks stupid. I think his whole like, why am I here? Like I don't know. He's got this like weird, fucking Michael Cera thing about him to me.
Ew.
That just kind of like pisses me off.
That's gross.
You know what I'm saying though? Like, do you see that?
No, yeah, I get what you're saying. He's just a weedy little boy.
Yeah, And something about a
He's,
weedy little boy like that just kind of pisses me off.
I don't know. He never ticked that box for me.
Fair enough.
I just thought he was dumb as shit. Like that's one of those things. It's like, how do you let yourself fuck up that bad? Where some no-name company that it comes at you out of nowhere, it's like we want to make a show, sign this, and you just fucking do it. What an idiot!
Well, he's certainly not the first, and he's certainly not going to be the last.
No, not at all.
Actually, but
And that, you know,
that's the thing though, is that like
that's showbiz.
even now, I just don't see how you could be so stupid to like not just read a
I know.
contract.
I know. That's the thing. Like, it's the most basic thing you do in any kind of arrangement. You read your lease, you read all this other shit. Why would you not read a contract about your fucking business? Like how you're making money. You built this YouTube channel over years. You traveled miles, slept in a trailer, whatever. I don't know what the fuck he did, but well,
Probably had
he
to suck dick.
molested people.
Yeah, he did molest people allegedly.
Right.
Probably had to suck a couple dicks. That's why he was molesting people allegedly, to like, you know, get his due or something, right? Like,
It's just like I just can't. Well, I couldn't respect anybody after that, and then he like tries to do Channel 5, and that was just bad branding. But you know he's a molester, so.
and you know what? We do not respect people who sexualize others without their consent.
Yes.
And Channel 5 is just stupid branding. It doesn't sound like anything. Well, actually, it just sounds
Right.
like... It sounds like...
Sounds lazy.
It sounds like, you know, News Channel 5, you know, a shitty,
Well, yeah.
like, local network that is on, like, a Fox network or a CBS network or something.
Yeah. And that's just lame. And that was the thing. All gas, no brakes was the perfect way to put it. Because a lot of the time, yeah, they just go somewhere crazy where people were being crazy and document it.
Well, admittedly,
And it
like...
was all gas, no brakes because the people were all gas, no brakes.
Yeah, that tells a story. You actually,
Right.
like, oh, shit, okay. These guys are all gas, no brakes. Oh, these guys are Channel 5?
Right.
Channel 5
Who
what?
gives a shit about that?
Just
I don't think I ever watched a single Channel 5 episode
not willingly.
after he lost his branding because he's a fucking dipshit. Idiot. And then he molested people.
Listen.
And then he molested someone.
What's up with that? He molested someone, Jerry.
He molested?
He molested. He did not leave them unmolested. You molested him, Jerry. Man, if only Seinfeld was still around today, he would be talking about that. With some pithy commentary. If Seinfeld was born today, he'd be streaming, talking about that.
I don't think Jerry Seinfeld would be a streamer.
Yeah,
Not with his personality.
he'd be a, would he be a vlogger? Or like a skit channel? He'd be making Vines and TikToks?
Well, that's the other thing, too. So much of what Seinfeld was just Larry David
Yeah.
as a show. And I think Larry David's, well, he's doing exactly what Larry David would do. It's just a TV show. A simple show. About a guy being stupid. Guy being a dumbass.
Guy being a dumbass.
And everybody hates him. Which is honestly the most relatable thing.
I'm gonna say this, Curb is way underrated.
You think it's underrated?
Yeah, I think Curb Your Enthusiasm is underrated.
I don't know. I think it's pretty popular.
It is, but I think Curb is also just too hard to watch. In that it's just kind of a pain in the ass.
Yeah, I'm never gonna pay for HBO Max.
Yeah,
I refuse to pay for any of that shit. I'll
I,
do Netflix. That's it.
I only have HBO because it's free. Works out great. Because as long
Or
as I
like
have,
what? It came with your TV or what?
it came with my internet,
Okay,
and so I'm like,
that's a
okay,
pretty good deal.
yeah, I'll keep it. But otherwise, I couldn't imagine. Couldn't imagine paying for it.
That's a pretty good deal.
God, this Netflix stuff is insane too with the password sharing.
Oh, well, they canceled that.
Yeah, but I don't think I I saw someone say that like um, part of the deal was a couple years ago Netflix came out and said, "Hey, we got to increase prices. We got to increase prices because we know people are password sharing and we're okay with that. We support it. But we got to increase prices because password sharing."
Right.
And then they're trying to take away password sharing, but they didn't bring the price down either. So I don't think that they're going to give up on the password sharing thing. I think it's just a matter of time before they come back to it.
Well, I'm sure they never will like stop going after it, but it's gonna be like a Team Rocket going after Pikachu all the
Mm.
time,
Mm-hmm.
where like they'll get really close, and then they'll just get blown up.
Yeah, I think you're probably right.
Yeah,
Those
and it'll be like looks like the executive board is blasting off again, or some meme.
you could make that if you do.
I'm not gonna.
If you posted at the Reddit, dude, you would get so much karma. You get so much Reddit karma, dude. Shh.
There was a period of time where I did post on Reddit, and I did get so much karma.
And I bet it felt pretty good.
It was the most fulfilling time in my life creatively.
Wow.
But yeah, I would we played this, what was it? Meme Exchange.
Yeah, meme stock market.
Yeah, but it was called Meme Exchange. And we yeah, you could manipulate the market because it was a real-time tracker of Reddit, and then you could invest in it based on how many upvotes it got and it would be balanced by how many downvotes it got as well. So you would just pay into a stock or a post on Reddit, and then yeah, based on the real time upvotes it got, it would go up or down, and then you could sell all of your stock in that meme, and make a profit and whatever. And there were leaderboards, and once you figured out that it was a real time tracker, you could manipulate the market by posting memes yourself.
Yeah.
And so I started doing that, and I started making memes. And then because I was on Reddit often enough, I started commenting on shit like a real fucking loser. And there were a couple times I got pretty good Reddit karma from shit that I posted.
God, I remember one of the ones that we did was it was around the Super Bowl, and because I think we were watching the Super Bowl a couple years ago, and we posted a meme about that, and it did pretty well, except there was this one dude who stole our post and reposted it as his own, and all like however many of us were playing it. Fucking Christ, so stupid. However many of us were playing it, just downvoted the shit out of him and like reported him and stuff. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember that. It was the meme that I made. It was
It's like a Prince.
I don't know.
Meme
It's
or
probably the
something.
Prince one. Yeah,
Yeah.
because Justin Timberlake was doing it,
Yeah.
and there was the
Yeah.
phone kid.
There
There was
was
a
the
kid who was
phone
on his
kid, yeah,
phone
yeah,
at the
yeah.
Super Bowl. Everybody lost their minds because it was badass. Everybody was like, "That kid's badass."
Like that kid's on his phone. That kid doesn't give a shit.
That kid was cool as fuck. He was at the Super Bowl too.
Yeah. And like, I couldn't afford to be at the Super Bowl.
No, I'll never be able to afford to be at the Super Bowl. I'm gonna have a fucked up brain with holes in it because of the water.
Oh yeah,
that I
yeah.
drink is fucked.
Well,
All my water's fucked up.
Super Bowl will be wasted on you. You won't even like remember what you saw.
I know. Well, yeah, you're right.
Like,
So
cause
even if
you're,
I could go to the
yeah,
Super Bowl, it would just be a waste.
it would definitely be a waste.
Yeah, my brain doesn't work.
No, you're honestly like, just we should just probably end it. Just get off this mortal coil. Cause they're gonna push us towards it.
No, I think the best. Fucking who was it? I think it was Limmy. There was a good clip of him that I saw where he was talking about like if you're ever thinking about killing yourself, just like hang in there to just see how fucked up people get. And then he showed a picture of Simon Cowell because he has gotten a bunch of like surgeries and stuff to try to look younger, and he just looks fucked up. He just looks fucked up and weird. And he was like, "Don't you want to stick around and just like watch this guy get fucking worse and worse? It's worth it." And that's the kind of thing that I think about when it's like people talk about killing themselves. It's like, you really want to miss out? Because that's the other thing too, is if you don't give a fuck that much, then like watching everything just get fucked is even better. Because you
Actually,
don't care.
I'll do you one better. Uh, you need to live out of spite.
Sure.
Like that's kind of where I am. Where it's like you gotta
Yeah,
keep
that's what I'm
shit
talking
going,
about.
just out of spite.
Mm-hmm. Not that anyone cares, probably.
No.
Like in a triumphant way, if you live or die. I think people would probably be more sad than anything when people die.
Yeah, maybe.
Like people talk about having haters and shit. I don't think that there are realistically that many actual haters in the world. Or at least people have fucked up what being a hater means. Like I'm a hater in the sense that I talk mad shit all the time because it's really fun to do. But I don't like sit and wish ill on anybody. You know?
Oh yeah, I know.
I don't conspire against them. Or like when bad things do happen, I don't necessarily rejoice it. Now with all gas, no brakes. Yes. But that's the one time. After that I'm done.
I swear, I'm swearing off of hating on people.
Well, not hating on people, but like being happy when like their life
Oh,
gets fucked up.
yeah.
Unless they're a molester.
Yes, so true. If they are a
Right. But like
molester, then I'm on board with them like fucking their life up.
yeah. But like if Will or Don got sick or something, that'd be upsetting.
Oh yeah,
Would
I
it
would be
not?
upset.
Yeah.
Well, because like
That's not cool.
Will and Dawn are like they're treasures in a way.
Yeah.
They Here's one thing I respect about them.
They're like plumbers.
They're just doing their thing. Yeah.
Right. Somebody's got to do it.
Somebody's
Somebody has
somebody's
got to do it.
going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And it can either be them or it can just be some like young millennial couple traveling around in a van.
Yeah.
And I can tell you who I would rather be doing it. Because a young millennial couple, you know what they would do if one of them accidentally uttered the phrase fee fi fo fum, that's a fairy hut or something, they would cut that out.
Right.
And then you wouldn't get to see. But Will and Don? No. They're out here looking out for us. Making sure, we get to see their,
Yeah, they're good people.
They're good people. They're good people. And we need to reward that. by. I don't even think we hate watch their videos. We just,
It's like more amazement.
yeah, yeah. It's like a train wreck, like watching a train wreck.
Yeah,
You,
I love trains.
it's like watching a train wreck that won't poison your water.
And I wouldn't be happy if anything bad happened to them.
No, I wouldn't. I actually
Like
would be pretty bummed about that.
they drove to a Bucky's and died in a fire or something. A Bucky's branded fire.
Yeah, that would be bad. Now, like, something. I'm not even gonna wish ill on Bucky's. I'm not gonna do it. I could, but I'm not going to. I'm not that kind of guy. I'm not that kind of guy. Now, I'm a Bucky's hater. Well, I don't know. We gotta, maybe we'll make a trip to Bucky's one day and do a review of it.
Oh, I have no doubt that like I'm actually gonna enjoy Bucky's and I'm going to hate myself for it. Bucky's is 100% something I would enjoy.
It's gonna be the only place that has clean water left.
Yeah. It probably will be.
So you have to enjoy it. You have to buy their $9 brisket sandwiches.
I hate this game so fucking much.
Well, you don't have to play it.
No, I have to. I have to beat it.
No,
I have to beat this level.
I get that. I understand. My brain is also broken.
I've been playing hard on every other level, so it's like, well, I have to just keep that going. Because you choose the difficulty before you jump into it.
Oh, before
Which I
you
like
jump into the levels?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's actually nice to have the option. But yeah, I'm just grinding away at nothing. Because you just get to a certain point where you can't do it. But I felt that way with the last mission too, with the spiders.
You'll get it.
The spiders. But this one, it's other ants. I'm fighting 2 different ant colonies.
Are you going to look up like YouTube tutorials on how to beat the levels?
I didn't look up specifically how to beat the level, excuse me. But I did see some strategy discussion on Steam. Because I was trying to look up, like, can you invade other ant colonies? Because that's what I thought I was supposed to do, is build up my strength so that I could just take them out without and not have to worry about them. But no, that's not what you're supposed to do. Which I thought was kind of dumb.
Yeah, it sounds hard.
Yeah, you can't invade the other colonies the way that they can invade you, which is dumb. And you're supposed to farm the aphids that spawn near your nest. And it's a pain in the ass. Because they just keep getting swamped by ladybugs that eat them.
So is this like a tower defense? Or is this more like a
top-down strategy?
Oh.
Real-time RTS.
RTS. Man.
Real-time strategy.
I will say, I don't think I'm like particularly good at RTS games, but I've got a real soft spot for them from playing Warcraft 3 on my dad's old computer.
I never played Warcraft.
He played Warcraft, and I remember like watching him play it, and it was very like, oh, this looks sick. So I've got a soft spot for RTS games, but I'm not good at them.
I'm usually pretty good at them. It's just that this is also an early access game, so I don't know if it's like fully balanced or whatnot.
You know, another thing is that the older I get, the more I'm convinced that like I'm kind of dumb. I'm a lot dumber than I thought I was when it comes to games, or like I've gotten dumber or something. I feel like when I was a kid, I could figure out games a lot better than I can now. Do you ever feel that way?
I have run into situations in games where I'm like, I guess there was something that happened to me relatively recently. When I played Stray, there was a point that I got stuck in, and I couldn't figure out what the fuck I was supposed to do. But it was also not my fault because a character who was supposed to like unlock a door for me didn't do what they were supposed to.
Oh yeah, you mentioned that.
Yeah, like the animation or something didn't trigger. So like for literally like 30 minutes, I was running around in this room, just confused about what the fuck I was supposed to do. But there was something I had played relatively recently where it was like a platformer or something, and I could not figure out where I was supposed to go or what I was supposed to do. And that made me feel dumb. And I don't remember feeling that way when I was younger playing games, but
Or is like, are the puzzles just getting harder? Like, are
I
the
don't think that that's it.
like I wonder if the games are getting more, I don't know, complicated and complex.
I don't think puzzles in games are ever really that complex. Like I replayed like Half-Life and Half-Life 2 recently, and it was really funny running into some of the like physics puzzles and stuff that were a big deal at one time because they were just like, you know, put these bricks on this so that it'll weigh down one side of this piece of wood so that you can walk across. And
Right.
that was it. And it was just really funny to see some of those things in action because, yeah, they weren't really a big fucking deal. It was just funny. But yeah, I did stop and think like, wow, that physics puzzle was just kind of whatever. Not a big,
Well,
nothing
I don't know.
fancy.
Physics puzzles. I guess like my kind of part of my point is that like physics puzzles and stuff. I don't think were ever that hard. I'm thinking of like playing a game like Satisfactory now. I'm thinking about like, oh fuck, I gotta be efficient, or like, how do I plan this out? I feel like as a kid, I could probably figure it out way better than I could now. I just feel dumb as hell playing this game. Maybe it's a
I
game
don't know.
problem. Like I'm playing hard games.
Maybe I can't think of a game that like I had issues with, but I also realized that like I would just look it up, you know?
Oh, would you just look stuff up as a kid?
Yeah,
Yeah,
there
it's
weren't a
fine.
lot of games that like challenged me enough that I don't know. It was like you. I don't know. I was always pretty good at video games though growing up too.
Oh yeah,
I never had issues.
I think most people our age kind of just were.
Well, right, but I don't know. Every now and then you run. Like I had a buddy in high school who was not adept at games, and it was really funny to like play games with him on Xbox and stuff because he just wasn't good at it. And it was surprising because I just most like you said most people are good at it.
Especially most people our age.
Well, right,
Like if
but yeah,
you're,
it's not everybody is, or at least there's even different levels. There's just different skill ceilings. I mean, it's like you can play Rocket League, and you can get to a point where you're making goals and you can handle yourself in your rank, but you'll go up against people who are tiers ahead of you,
maybe you can.
and they're just out of this world.
I can't play Rocket League at all.
Right, and that's the thing. Like, I think that there's a different level of skill within video games. There's just different skill ceilings that a lot of mainstream games you're not going to run into that. Like everybody can play Red Dead and do just fine.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Did you did you ever know people that like just straight up weren't allowed to play games?
Yes, I wasn't allowed to play games.
No, any games.
Oh, any games?
Yeah.
No.
So I actually I don't know how I know these people, but my dad, I don't know if like they were friends of his or if we're somehow related to them, but like once every few years, my dad would drive us, like the whole family, hours and hours away to like some town that, some tiny town, like nobody lived there type of thing. And there's this family that lived out in the middle of nowhere, and there was like 3 or 4 kids, and none of them were allowed to play games for the longest time. And so like I remember I like brought my Game Boy, and that was kind of a big deal. That they were like, oh shit, they're like, oh, he's playing Pokemon, like whoa, like they weren't allowed to play it at all, and you know it's kind of a I don't know if it was a problem necessarily, but you know it's kind of a big deal, and
Hmm.
I was blown away because I think like the dad of the family even played games at one point, but he for whatever reason stopped. Um, until at one point, like years later, my dad once again like we went, you know, to go see these people, and they were playing a Nintendo 64. But I think by that point, Nintendo 64 was like, you know, was kind of like done. You know, we weren't playing the Nintendo 64 anymore. Like
Yeah.
we moved on to at least the GameCube or something. And it was just so jarring. Like I didn't know that. I didn't understand people who lived like that.
My grandpa lived in rural Pennsylvania, and he would like get like animals and stuff like chicks and hens from some Amish people. And you'd run into that, and like they would have kids and stuff. And I remember he would go and get, whatever he went to get from the Amish, and I'd hang out with some of the kids sometimes. And I remember I had my DS once, and I was playing it in front of them, and I thought it was really funny. And they were like watching me. And it was like funny because they were like mean mugging me, where they were like, "What the fuck?"
Look at this.
They were looking at me like I was a witch boy.
The city boy playing his Nintendo DS.
Yeah, it was funny because they weren't allowed to.
God.
I had special powers.
They'll write about the city boy that with the advanced technology.
Yeah, I'm etched into the lore. They have a big stone wall
Damn,
that
that's
talks about the prophecy. I'm in the prophecy now.
you're in the damn. That's badass. I wish I was in a prophecy.
Mhm.
I actually no. I'm happy not being in it, any prophecies. I'm happy just doing this. I mean, God, like just even getting to the point of doing this was like pulling teeth.
Yeah, it sucks making stuff, even if it's just bare bones. Sucks ass.
Like I don't think I could get more bare bones than this.
Yeah, you're pretty bare.
I'm okay with it.
Hey,
Hey,
there's nothing wrong with it.
actually, if you want to talk shit, why don't you wait till you're making something to talk shit?
I stream 2 times a year, so I do things.
Yeah, fair enough.
Fucking hate these ladybugs.
Is this inspiring you at all to do some streaming and stuff?
Yeah, it makes me want to get back into it, definitely. Because
Wait,
it's just one of those things where, like, I just realize how easy it is. And the other thing, too, is it would be easier to stream doing this with, like, you or somebody else and talking about things. Because you just have somebody to bounce ideas off of. Like, I can talk about things for a while. I just need, like, and that's the thing. Like, my insistent thing about what makes a stream good and a streamer good is that they have an audience. Otherwise, they're just talking to themselves, which I mean, like, I guess Hassan does a lot of that, but he still interacts with his stream where he gets pointed in a direction for a conversation or a topic or something like that. And like Wubby is really interactive with his chat.
Hmm.
And that's the thing, like, I can talk for a long time about some dumb thing by myself, but having somebody relaying stuff to me really works. And that's what I've noticed with just, last night and tonight doing this with you. Even though, like, I'm trying to help keep it more just like wrangling the discussion for you, but I've been really into the game tonight, so I have not been focusing more on asking good questions or
Oh,
keeping
listen.
things from getting off topic.
Remember, this is zero standards. Like, you, the point of this is to not care.
Right.
The point of this is to finally, like, try to start building some momentum on anything. For
Yeah.
God's sakes.
For God's sakes.
For God's sakes, we got to do something. That way we
True.
can criticize people for whatever we want.
Yeah.
This is where we're going to come out with the hard hitting opinions and thoughts. The pithy. We're going to be pithy.
Pithy stream.
Pithy stream. Actually, that does make me think that, like, streaming this could be fun rather than just recording it and posting
Yeah.
it. Not that it really matters, but I think that could be cool.
I think streaming for stuff like this is definitely more the way to go.
And then at least that way I don't have to sit through, like, hour and a half render times.
Rendering, yeah.
And then, like, that wasn't even the worst part. The worst part was trying to sync the audio that I had recorded to the. Not that I was, like, necessarily trying to record it to, like, the gameplay, but I wanted it to at least be pretty, like, as close as reasonable.
Mm-hmm.
God, that was such a ball ache. And so tonight I actually, like, did a little syncing, like a clap thing, so that I could, like, match it on the waveforms and stuff. Because God, that's awful.
You think that's bad? Try editing.
Yeah, that's why I'm
More.
not. Well, actually, like, it's got to be said, I was looking through DaVinci a bit, and it kind of got, like, the old, like, juices flowing again a bit. Because I used to do video editing, and it was, like, a lot of fun. But I just haven't in, years. And
Video editing is a ton of fun when you actually have a finished thing to work with.
yeah. Yeah.
Rather, like, because that's what I've run into with editing VODs is it's just like, what the fuck am I even looking at?
Mm-hmm.
This isn't a thing. This is just this is just like me rambling, and that's not fun to look at and make stuff with. But like when you're editing like a skit or something, sorry, I got you off track.
Oh, no, I agreed. But it just got, like, the juices flowing of, like, man, I should learn DaVinci a little bit because there's so much here.
Yeah, there's a lot. It's a really good software overall. There's some stuff they lock behind a paywall, but for what it is, like, people don't have an excuse not to, make a thing or just learn how to use it for their skill sets.
Well, part of it for me is that, like, I couldn't believe that it was free.
Yeah,
Like, it's so feature rich and it's just free.
it's very good.
That was incredible. That's part of it for me. I was just like, damn, this is, like, too good to not. Like, I don't have any. I couldn't justify just putting this together in, like, Windows Movie Maker. It's like I could.
I don't even think Windows Movie Maker is a thing anymore.
Well, they have something, right? Like,
I don't know. I don't think they do.
really?
I don't think there's anything.
Wow.
that Windows offers as like a free editing tool.
Because years ago, when I was in high school, I used like I had access to Final Cut through the school and
Oh wow.
stuff, and that was great. And so I got really used to doing that. And then when I left high school, like I still made videos and stuff here and there, but I didn't have access to anything like that. So I had to use Movie Maker for like a couple of things that I did, and it was like fine because I did like relatively, I didn't do anything complicated.
I loved Windows Movie Maker in middle school when I used it. I used it all the time for everything. And it was shitty. It didn't have everything, but if you knew what you were doing and you planned what you were shooting around that, it was great.
Oh, it does the trick for sure. Like
Yeah.
you can't shit on it too much. Fuck, it gets us, got us through. But man, yeah, Da Vinci, I just couldn't believe like how good it was. Like how I just can't believe the features that it had. That was insane. But it makes me want to learn it. It makes me want to like be able to do stuff. But then at the same time, I was sitting there going, man, I should stream so that I don't have to even do this. I can just upload
Yeah.
VODs.
Streaming is very, very, very useful. I don't think, and that's the other thing too with streaming that I don't like is just the gaming aspect of it.
Hmm.
Because there's something that's just really dumb about watching somebody zoned out, looking at their monitor, not saying or doing anything like particularly valuable.
Yeah, no, certainly.
And that's sort of like, yeah, like I hate watching it, and I can't imagine people enjoy watching it, like, and enjoy watching me do it. Like, what the fuck? And that's a big reason why I don't want to stream. Because like I want to be engaged the whole time,
Hmm.
right? And yeah, it's just that's the big hang up for me. Is I want it to be good.
Well, there's your problem.
Yeah. There was a while when I was streaming, maybe like, Jesus, like probably like a year or two ago,
Yeah.
where I would do pretty good for like an hour of just like having stuff to talk about and doing that. And that's what I need to do more of if I'm gonna do a thing,
Well, I don't
stream thing.
think you should turn your nose up at an hour.
No, yeah, well, and that's the thing. It's just like, yeah, doing like an hour long talk show deal,
Hmm.
and then turn it off and fuck off.
Well, that way, like, because the other problem that you ran into was that you would take a stream and want to cut it up and like, you know, get best bits or something out of it, but then you'd have a 3-hour stream, and trying to find like good bits out of a 3-hour stream is just impossible. God, I was even like looking through our thing from the other night, and I was just thinking like, oh my God, if I had to like dig through this to like find clips, no way.
Yeah.
I would never
Yeah,
get
yeah.
through this.
Yeah, it sucks. It sucks ass. It's not good.
No, it's not. It it really makes sense why people pay editors to do shit like that.
Oh, an editor is 100% worth it, especially if you do have content and you're making stuff, and if you can find somebody who, because my other thing too is just like, I have a critical eye that like, if it's not perfect, it's not worth anything. So like, if I could have an editor who's just like some kid who's just like, I make TikToks, haha. It's like, okay, I'll pay you, and as long as you just make literally anything, that's perfect. That's exactly what I need.
Hmm.
Somebody who's separate from that editing decision, especially that editing decision.
Well, I don't know. I was even thinking like, man, I wonder if there's an easy way, and I'm sure there is. I just haven't looked at all. Like within like an OBS or something. This fucking alien orb. Within like an OBS to like mark like, hey, mark that as a significant moment so that in the recording it's easy to identify.
There is a way to do it, like with my Stream Deck, but I've never been able to get it to work.
Hmm.
Is the fucking problem. And like I can set it up so that when I hit something, it'll save a clip and do all that for me. Uh, but I just can't get it to work. And it's one of those things where like I could get it to work. Like it's just a technical issue. It's just sitting down and fucking doing it is, you know, a ball ache like everything else.
Yeah, but it's also like, I think it's one other thing that you've identified is that it's fucking gameplay. Like
Yeah,
it's
it
not
sucks to sit
particularly
through.
fucking interesting.
Yeah, in post, it sucks to sit through. And that's where like the other thing too is it's like I've gotten through like editing little funny meme compilations of us like playing Fortnite. And the editing of it is fun and you can make it funny through the edit, but it's finding the clips to edit while also I would spend like hours of my editing time just going on YouTube and like watching 30-second clips of like memes of different stuff. Like news clips.
Hmm.
And it's just like I've like trying to get clips of people saying funny videos to superimpose them or saying funny things on the news or whatever to superimpose them onto the Fortnite clip so that like yeah, it was just a whole thing. And yeah, it would just take a shit ton of fucking time. And then also my editing, but because to do that stuff, like I couldn't do that on Resolve with the free version. There were too many tools that I was missing.
Hmm.
And so like to do that in Premiere or After Effects, because my software for that is so old, uh trying to do all those edits and shit, it was not efficient and a big old pain in the
It's
ass.
just like compounding issues.
Yeah, it really was. And that's one of those things where like I know that switching to the Creative Cloud subscription would help a lot with that, especially the fucking rendering time, but just the workflow process. When I switched to Resolve to start editing clips and stuff, it helped a shit ton. It helped a fuck ton because I could actually see what was going on in my timeline as I edited. I wouldn't have to wait like 3 seconds every time I did something for
Hmm.
it to reload. Um, just my timeline.
Yeah, I've I can't believe like I've never had a good PC before because I mean like honestly though because like I would have loved to have done like video editing and stuff, but I just never did because I couldn't because you just
Yeah.
I even had like a decent laptop, but just not good enough. And now that I have, now that I have the equipment to potentially do something like decent video editing, I'm just like, oh, I just want to do something where I don't have to edit at all. I don't have to think. I just
Yeah.
want to like, tighten up that loop of record then post as much as possible.
No, I think you have a better idea of getting yourself into that grind, the grind set, a lot more than I did, certainly, or I do.
Yeah.
Because yeah, just post something well, and that's like I think like Mr. Beast has talked about that. But yeah, like if you can just get yourself to post, you'll learn as you go and learn with like making things. But the other thing with editing too is editing like a skit or something where you planned out shots and the jokes and everything ahead of time and then shot it and you could work through it on set with your friends, whoever, is very different from like what we're doing now as far as like the fun of editing.
Hmm. Yeah, because I think to like, um, you know, like in high school, I would do like, we'd record like comedy sketches or like, fun little action sequences and stuff. And that was a
Mm-hmm.
ton of fun to edit because you had a vision the whole time. And it was like,
Right.
I think just the nature of content we treated content differently than like we do now, or like we are now. Not that we have to treat it this way, but it's the easiest way to kind of get in the door and like to be doing something.
Yeah.
And honestly, like with our lives, like just the time sink of, oh fuck, I have to make trying to write a comedy sketch right now.
I don't know. I think writing comedy, like a skit would be, if you had the right people, it would be relatively easy.
Actually, well, you know, I say like thinking of like what a ball like would be, when literally every time we hang out, like how often do we say shit like, oh, we should make that if we made TikToks,
right?
If we made TikToks, that'd be a great bit. But we don't. We don't make TikToks.
Well, and that's the other thing. Like, I would have a lot more motivation to, yeah, like make that kind of a thing, especially in the post-production stage. Because yeah, it's you're making something come to life. You're bringing the idea to fruition.
Yeah.
But with just like, yeah, like, oh, I filmed video game for 3 hours, and then you watch it in post, and you're like, this is dog shit. Like, I could understand it being fun in the moment for somebody who is watching, because it's just like, yeah, you're watching the thing, and that's fun. I hope, but yeah, trying to make something even like decent out of it for outsiders to watch, it's nutso. Oh, please, God. I hate this game. We're about to lose. I'm about to lose because I'm stupid again. And my aphids are getting eaten.
Well, one thing, like, I'm almost even hoping to come out of this is just, like, getting in the flow of, like, trying to make something. Because I think I said this yesterday, but I'm basically treating this like a podcast. I mean, it's kind of all it is. And if I do this for a couple weeks and then I've had my fill and then I decide I don't want to do any more, that's fine. I can quit. But I want to actually do something and post, unlike any of our podcasts we've ever made. all 7 of our podcasts that we've made before.
Well, I fucking lost. And it's midnight.
And it's midnight.
It is midnight.
Well, I said I would only do 2 hours. I don't want to do another 4-hour thing again like I did the other night.
Well, that was just the million subscribers
special.
special.
That was the million subscriber special. Man, can you believe how we celebrated with an extra long episode?
Yes. Because that's what you do. You do that for the fans.
Yeah. For them. I do that for the fans and for the mods that I pay to block content for me. And everything, all the other jokes I made yesterday. Do it for you.
Wow. He's the best. That's why I sent him all my money.
I'm basically like Mr. Beast. Except nobody can hate on me if I cured the blind.
I wouldn't say nobody.
Well, yeah.
I'm the reverse Mr. Beast, where everybody gives me money. Gives me all the money.
Wow.
$10,000 at a time. Like, it's crazy. Tons of people just have $10,000 that they give to me in one go.
People
It's not like other streamers.
They were you.
No.
Huh?
I'm the opposite of Mr. Beast, so nobody wants to be me.
Oh, okay. Well, that's, you know what, yeah. That's fair.
God, fucking navigating YouTube is such dog shit anymore.
Why? Are you looking for the latest Mr. Beast video?
No, I'm just on my homepage. Like I clicked into my subscriptions, and it's this week and older, and that's it. And I wish. Well, I don't know about subscriptions. I never looked through my subscriptions, but my homepage is dog shit because it's just all over the place. It's just
I
a bunch of shit I don't have any interest in watching, and I can't even categorize it. Like you can hit the things at the top, like music, gaming, contemporary worship music for some reason. That's my. Oh, I'm on the wrong account. That's why. That would explain why it looks like such shit. But even then, when I'm on my regular account, I fucking hate scrolling through my homepage.
Yeah, you know what I'm sick of is I'm fucking sick of God of War clips. For some reason, YouTube keeps recommending me God of
That
War
sucks.
Ragnarok
That
clips,
sucks. That
and
sucks bad.
yeah, it's awful. And like the worst bit about it is that like I think I've watched like one or two because it was just some people breaking down like interesting lore things.
Mm-hmm.
Great, but I don't need to see any more. I wish I could just tell it like, okay, that's enough. Actually, not interested.
It's just too much. It's so much shit. And it's all over the place. Like there's no cohesiveness to it. Where like I could appreciate if it split things up into sections of like, art how-tos. Like my things at the top, it's live, gaming, mixes, podcasts, music, debates. Like if I hit podcasts, I don't even none of these are podcasts. It's got a critical video on here. It's got a bunch of clips that are a minute long. These aren't fucking, or I guess they're podcast clips.
Oh, it's the worst.
Like, yeah, like I don't fucking want to see these. I don't care. Music. I'm, eh. I've never, YouTube's never been good at showing me music. It's very, very, very rare that it shows me stuff I'm actually interested in. Debates, consumer electronics, film criticisms,
Yeah,
Half-Life. Like,
YouTube could learn a thing or two from Rumble
or TikTok,
or
I guess.
TikTok. I don't know. Actually, everything sucks.
How to recommend things.
All
Yeah,
media and content sucks.
consuming content just sucks. There's so few things. That's another thing. Ever since I stopped watching Tim Pool, is there's just like I just have nothing to be watching on YouTube. I've been watching more Netflix recently, which is fine. I've been, like I turned Seinfeld on just to have on, and like I'm more interested in watching a movie every now and then. But yeah, like I look at all this shit on YouTube, and it's just like there have been times, and this has been happening for like years. I'll click into some video essay, or it'll autoplay into a video essay about like, was Fallout 3 really that bad? Or really that good?
Yeah.
Or what's the best weapons in Fallout 3? And it'll be an hour-long video. I'll get 15 minutes into it, and then the guy will say something that's just so stupid about like Fallout 3 was so important to me growing up, and I just have been relishing the opportunity to come back and play it. And those little lines are just dumb things will take me out of the video instantly, and I'll just like I'll snap back to reality and just think, "Oh, why am I watching this?"
Oh
And just
God.
click out.
Yeah, I have those all the time.
Yeah, like, or why do I give a shit about this? Who the fuck cares
Oh,
about any of these video essays?
the thing that I do all the time, especially when we're watching YouTube on the TV, like my wife and I were just trying to find something to watch, I'll put something on, get 20 seconds in, and realize I don't care, audibly yell, "Shut up," and then turn it off.
Yeah,
Go to something else.
yeah, I'll do that. I will audibly say, "Shut the fuck up," or something like that. It drives me crazy how often YouTube recommends video essays to me. and how often they're just about fucking nothing, or they don't add anything new to the conversation. Like that's another thing. Since YouTube has stopped recommending me any Tim Pool stuff, I get so much news content from random people who get like 500 views. And I've clicked into a couple of them, and it's just like, wow, this is the most like brain dead. You're just reading. Well, they're doing what Tim Pool does, where they're reading an article, but they have the most basic like Sean Hannity take on whatever the fuck it is. Like there was some radio show I was listening to on our local radio, and I thought they were a local station or a local show, but no, it's syndicated. But these dudes literally would just play clips of whatever was on Fox the night before.
Oh my god.
It's a political show, and you're just like, here's what Tucker had to say last night. And it's just literally the closest you could get to phoning it in. And then not even, it's worse than phoning it in.
Yeah, you're phoning
You're
someone
not
else's
even
thing
calling
in.
Like you're just playing a clip. Like it'd be one thing if you had somebody call in to give their opinion, but you just play their fucking TV show. And that's what so many of these YouTubers do, is they'll just say whatever the fuck the mainstream bullshit is, which, excuse me, which credit to Tim Pool, I guess, is that, you know, he would do his own thing. He just had insanely stupid takes
Mm-hmm.
where he would galaxy brain himself into, you know, shilling pancakes. But I don't know. It's just, everything is such dog shit on YouTube when it comes to just good, decent content or entertaining content.
Until now.
Yeah, until now.
Yeah. I hate YouTube. It's not good.
It sucks. What are you gonna do though?
I'm trying to be part of the solution here.
Oh well, yeah, that makes sense.
I am. Right? You're complaining. Okay? When you're not complaining anymore, then we'll be part of the solution.
I don't know, man. Complaining does numbers.
Yo, this doing
People
numbers.
love complaining.
Actually, maybe that's just what we'll do for the next one. We'll like come up with just a bunch of shit to complain about, and then we'll just do that. And then
Shit.
post clips of it on Twitter or something.
See, but that's the thing. I can't think of things like that off the top of my head. I'm fine with topic, opinion, or, you know, here's a topic, what do you think about it? And getting into something that way. But, like, if you ask me what I'm thinking, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know. I'm just off. I'm so off the dome, man. I live in the moment.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think you even, when you recommended yesterday, like, oh, you should come up with fucking topics to talk about. I was like, yeah, okay.
It's hard.
Well, I also just kind of, I don't know, like, I think I'm too dumb for that. It's like writing comedy. Like, that's kind of what it feels like to me. Like, trying to write bits. Like, trying to write stand-up bits is what it kind of feels like to me.
Yeah. Well, that's one thing. I was watching Louis' appearance on Joe Rogan from like January, and it's so funny because what his TV show, and like I watched, like, before I dropped out of college and started doing stand-up. He was the big reason why I did, because he was like the first comedian where it was like, oh, I would do that. That's the kind of thing that I would want to do, as far as like telling jokes and interacting with the crowd, or, you know, expressing my thoughts on things. And it was funny watching him talk to Joe about, you know, the craft. And he was saying, like, he doesn't write his jokes. He doesn't write his material out and do that. Because Joe Rogan has talked about that, where he has, like, some crazy note-taking app where he writes things out on virtual sticky notes and all this shit. And that always, like, drove me crazy listening to it, because it was like, man, I couldn't do that. That sucks. Like, I could never be as good as Joe Rogan at comedy, even though I don't think his stand-up's that good. But Louis was saying, like, his whole thing is like, no, yeah, like, you come up with it on stage. You get the gist of it, but you don't know what you're going to say. And you shouldn't try to know what you're going to say. Like, you'll have the bit and you'll have the through line, or you might remember this specific point or that punchline, but how you get there is a walk. It's a topic, and you talk about your feelings on it. And that's how I always approached things. Because when I would try to be too scripted, it would come off that way. Because I would watch my stuff back every time, and it sucked and it was cringy. But you learned the most just by watching yourself. You'd be like, "Oh, this works. This doesn't work. I'm shifting around too much. Why does my voice sound so weird? I don't talk like that." And you know exactly what to attack and what to fix. But coming up with stuff beforehand, like in trying to write your jokes or come up with your thoughts on every little thing. And that's the thing, when you're coming up with topics for a show that's off the cuff, that is low effort, it's only going to come off as like scripted and kind of weird. Because you have that idea in your head of how you're going to talk about it. And that would happen when we would do podcast stuff in the past. And like, I would have an idea in my head, but I would more so try to figure out questions to ask around that topic, and trying to estimate your responses to that, and then what I would say, or like what my anecdote would be related to that, or something.
I get that, but I think that's so hard to do. That's so much like thinking, and I think what's worked for me is, I think, to just go with the approach of like sort of quote unquote active listening, right? Like taking in like, okay, what's being said, and like really thinking about it and trying to come up with something to say off the back of that. I think that's like more effective for me, and so that's why like this kind of thing works for me. It's just chatting.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, active listening is just good practice in general. Because I notice that all the time when I talk to people, is you'll just go in circles. And I've been trying to get better about that too. Because, yeah, so much, like, I'll talk to my mom about something, and yeah, she'll just say something that's not even related, or it's just so off kilter from, like, we were talking about that train accident. I was talking with her about it. And I was talking about how those rail workers tried to negotiate for shit that would have prevented this. And I was like, and you know, it was a national news story, and Biden got it to go away, and people like were happy with Biden for doing that. And fundamentally, what it all came down to was nobody fucking respects the workers at any level. Like, I keep saying like, so many issues at any workplace can be diagnosed by the workers, where it's like, we don't have enough of this, we don't have enough people, we don't have enough hours, we don't get paid enough to be motivated, whatever. And mid-level managers, upper-level managers, the president will just tell you to fuck off, and then you get poisoned fucking water. So I was making that point. And she was like, it's like the people in New York don't respect the police, and now everything's going to shit. And it was like, kind of, but what you're talking about is way off. Like, I'm trying to talk about this issue of the water being poisoned because of because of the fucking train wreck.
Your water.
And I don't want to talk about liberal policing or liberal whatever DAs in New York not holding people accountable. I don't want to talk about that. I hear enough about it all the time. This is a real issue that's affecting us. I don't care about fucking people in New York. But yeah, like, so many people just want to talk about what they know about. I'm sure I've done that a million times over the course of the last 2 hours and probably yesterday's 4. Wow, 8 hours. Or no, 6 hours.
Yeah,
6 of the last 48 hours.
and I'm posting all of it.
Go for it.
Well, like, what else is there? You know, we're on our.
Nothing.
You know, listen, the journey to 1 million subs begins with 6 hours of recording. I think.
Yes.
The journey to 1 million subs begins with an exclamation of, well, what else is there?
Yes.
So
You're 100% right. You're 100% right, man.
I know.
Badass. All right. I'm going to go.
All right. I'm going to call it here.
Rest in peace. Okay.
Goodbye.
Good night. Goodbye. Goobit.